Hi everybody, welcome to this playthrough for the opening drive tournaments for the divisions shown on the screen right now. Please hit thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel, both of those things are free to do and help me out on YouTube a lot. Tailwinds only is the modifier on this one, and all shots in this playthrough feature an element of tailwind, so they will be well suited to the modifier and help you get prepared for this tournament. Timestamps in the description down below, and remember, these are old replays, so you may well see some old ball stat levels. These have now doubled in the game, but the shots will still work as designed. Remember to tweak according to the wind angles you receive in the tournament and also to your club's balls and play style. Good luck, here we go. We're going to be very close indeed. Hole number 3, we have some tailwind here, so I'm going to go aggressive. With the Titan, play with 6 bars topspin. Stupidly, I reduced this to 5 topspin. I didn't need to. 2 bars side spin to the right, stretch out, find our position. Then we are going to adjust max plus 10, then push back up to max. Can go with a berserker if you want to use less overpower. Here I'm going with max, but I did need to stick with 6 bars topspin. Plenty of curl to the right, almost 1 ball outside the adjustment ring to the right. We do hit great left here, so we are going to be nearer to the rough on the left than we would like, but we still do find the fairway, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously a perfect would have put us a little bit more away from the rough. 392 yards. Obviously if you have more topspin and if you'd have gone with 6 bars like I wanted to, we'd have been a little bit further. So we would probably have been in max distance Thorn here rather than Grizzly, but we still have a chance. I'm playing here 20% slider plus 10% elevation. I was judging from the minimum distance line how far I was from min. Check out the Academy playlist, tutorial videos for min, mid and max, and also slider and rings from min guidance. So 20% slider, 10% elevation. The ball guide did disappear, however, because there's a lot of flight time before the tree, I didn't actually need to go with any curl. And we dropped that beautifully, ball guide to hole for an albatross. On this par 5, we're going to go APOC and Grizzly, APOC 5 and above, P3 max rest, bullseye in the middle of that fairway pad, and then we add our spin, and we're going with 3 top spin and 3 left spin. In fact, I go 3.2 top spin and 3 left spin. You might want to tweak the left spin by a click further down to around 2.8, 2.9 if you feel this one is too close to the rough for comfort. If you've got APOC 4, you stretch out 1.7 rings to find your position. Max plus 10, power 3 settings, no push up unless you have APOC 4, in which case you would push up 6 yards. And we're going with some curl here. You can see it is 1.5 ball of curl just before the circle drops as our overpower reference there. Hitting perfect, bouncing nicely on the pad, and then rolling nicely. You can see it is a bit close to the rough. If you're worried about that, either reduce the curl or reduce the left spin. Second shot, we're going to do a pin check here, put the bullseye over the pin. Grizzly 9 is plus 4. Grizzly 7 and 8 is going to be plus 7. In both of those cases, we're going to play 70% slider, minus 20 elevation. The spins used here, 2 top spin and 2 bars of right spin. Might need to vary the top spin by a click or 2 either way, depending on your drive, but I'm looking at having the red ring touching the rough line and the ball guide going to the pin. 2% per yard, so if your pin check was plus 3, you are nearer, so you go 68% slider instead. So minus 20 elevation, this one does play uphill. Pulling over the bullseye here with the Grizzly, then we're going to hit perfect. Centering the ball. There we go, there's a perfect, and it's going to catch the rough very nicely. Rolling onto the green and dropping right at the pin for the albatross. Now we have tailwind in this example on hole 3, but I'm not going to send it because that may well limit the use in terms of people that have high level clubs. So I'm going to show you the layup option, which is definitely better for a more general purpose and also for different wind angles as well. I like the quarterback or the rock for the drive, and I want to lay up on this piece of fairway on the right hand side, as you can see just on the screen right now, and use backspin to control the ball. We want to use the quarterback or the rock for the accuracy and also the ball guide when it comes to positioning ourselves for the approach, as there's still a lot of distance to cover. Power 5 ball is a must on this hole to prevent you from needing a load of overpower and potentially risking the water or the sand on the approach. Mine a great ball here, but it doesn't matter. I'm still getting the ball where I want to be, and the adjustment in this case was max plus 15. In Tailwind, you might want to go max plus 20 just to compensate for the extra wind push. Second shot is going to be with the Cataclysm or the Big Dog. You can actually use the Horizon here as well if you have lower level clubs. Now we're using max plus 40 here because it is massively downhill and there's also crosswind as well, which is going to affect the path of the ball slightly more. Setting up with top spin and left spin, I don't want to set up too close to the bunker here. The primary objective, of course, is just to get on the green to secure the eagle. Very tough to get an albatross unless you're going to go super aggressive on the drive on the left-hand side from the tee. There is a chance with a sniper, but you're still going to need a power 5 ball. Max plus 40 is the adjustment. We hit perfect on this one. If the adjustment takes you down into the water, I would suggest pushing up half a ring to 1 ring to compensate for the loss of distance. We get a zoom in here, just skim the left edge. Very lucky to be that close. But we got the putt for the eagle, which is the priority on this tough par 5. On this hole here, we're going to go with APOC and Sniper. Spins first, 5.8 top spin and 2 left spin. Ring references are as follows. APOC 5 and 6, red ring touching the rough at the top of plus 10. In fact, sorry, it's a correction there. 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough. I just shifted that one slightly to the left. So 20% of the red ring in the rough. APOC 4 will be red ring touching though, but you will be at P3 max rest, so that will be at plus 16. Adjustment here, max plus 10. For me, that is, I believe, 6.4 rings. Then we're going to leave it where it is, centering the ball, no overpower, no underpower, hitting perfect, and we want to bounce firstly on the fairway, then onto the next piece of fairway, and then into the rough and roll out. You might need to tweak the top spin based on the wind strength, take a token or two and find out if that's the case. Drive distance of around 375, then second shot we're adding 1 bar of left spin. And here I'm having the ball guide stopping a good couple of green squares short. Need to just modify the aim slightly here, though this one comes in a little bit on the hot side, pointing more or less at the pin. And the adjustment here, I would like you to play landing position plus yards, 10% elevation, but power 1 settings. Now for plus 9 with Sniper 10, it will be plus 11 with Sniper 9. We're going to go 92% on the slider. You will see this one, though, come in a little bit hot. So based on the miss in the video, you will then need to tweak the aim in terms of the ball guide reference. I would maybe add a click or two of backspin, or you could just move further back with your aim. You can see here, the line is good, just skimming over the right edge of the hole. Now, hole 5. 4.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. We have a hint of tailwind here, but it's predominantly crosswind. Red ring touching the rough on the left at max with the power 3 ball. Max plus 20 is the adjustment. Here, what I needed to do, which I didn't, was I should have pushed up 2 or 3 yards because we do drop to a slightly lower point. Half wall curl to the left, and we are hitting perfect. Obviously, if you have wind pushing the other direction, you will need to adapt the curl a little bit. We only just made it across, which is why I said there I should have pushed up a little bit. We do have plenty of room. Bowl-shaped fairway is going to keep the ball in play unless you hit a horrendous great left or great right. Second shot, play true club distance plus 10% elevation. There is a sticky spot here. I did spend quite a bit of time trying to find it, but didn't quite get there. So in the end, I played this one, I think 85 to 90% slider plus 10. Problem I had here with the spins I had on, I didn't leave the ball guide short enough of pin. So we do come in a little bit on the hot side, which is going to happen with the design of the fairway and the green. So narrow miss to the right, but still a very, very good chance. True club distance plus 10 is what I would recommend. Please do join us over on Facebook. We have an ever-growing community of players there. Over 16,000 members. Head over to Facebook, search for BK Golf Clash and submit your member request there. Free to join. There are free guides posted, lots of shot sharing and discussion points. You can chat and interact with me as well, and loads more over on Facebook. So head over there and search for BK Golf Clash. On to hole 6, and we've got a nice wind angle here. We're going to go aggressive and set up a rough bump for the second shot. 6 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right. I add spin first. Stretch out to absolute max and look at the ball guide. You want it just over the edge of the rough, up ahead on the left of that narrow bottleneck area of fairway. I push adjust my rings here because as pretty as the flowers are, they are in the way and they obscure the view when you're pulling your rings. So push this one, max plus 20, and then we are going to take our shot. I'm not going to push anything up here at all because I want to slow a needle when I'm going full over power. Power 4 or power 5 ball is advisable in crosswind or headwind because you can then still go max over power without having a really shaky needle. Better chance of hitting perfect. Ball travels very nicely down the fairway. We want distance here. Drive distance of over 410 yards is excellent. Second shot, if you don't want to play the rough bump and the associated technical difficulties, then please just bounce over with backspin and left spin. You can still catch the funnel bouncing on the fairway that rolls down to the pin. If you want to go with the rough bump though, it takes a second bounce out of the equation and increases your drop percentage. So a little bit of backspin, and the left spin will vary depending where you are on the drive. And we want to make sure we're in that sticky spot where the ball guide doesn't really move around much, but it's going to go through the hole. And the reason for that is I'm going to adjust down into the bunker, and it's going to cause me to lose distance and pace on the ball. I played a fringe check here. This was from a previous tournament. +7 fringe check. This is played at 60% slider, minus 10% elevation. Because I adjust into the bunker, I push up 1 ring after I've adjusted. Otherwise, you're going to fall dramatically short and may not make it out of the rough. Perfect ball away here in different wind directions. This doesn't really need too much elevation at all, between 0 and minus 10 elevation, but we catch the rough nicely and it drops for a lovely albatross on the 6th hole. On this par 5, it's all about securing the eagle. Albatrosses are very difficult indeed. What we're going to do here is bounce over with the rock, and we want to clip the rough and roll out. It is a bit of a technical shot, and I would advise you to vary the spin depending on how much tailwind you've got and also your wind strength. But in this wind angle and strength, I go with no top spin, no back spin, and just 2 bars of left spin. Max distance with the rock level 8. And I'm having the blue ring touching the wooden border on the left. With rock 9, you will be at top of plus 15. I adjust here max plus 10. It doesn't take me down off the platform. If that was to happen in stronger winds, then I would compensate with a couple of clicks of overpower, as you will lose distance on your shot. Mid-wall curl to the left. We are playing fine margins here, so I strongly suggest you use a token and dial this one in, but we want to bounce over, just clip the rough, and you can see it was very close to the fairway, and then roll out 310 yards. Second shot, you will need the big dog or the cataclysm. Set up P6 max rest, and I'm going here with 2 bars of right spin and half a bar of back spin. Setting up with enough room to give myself a great ball either side, and we're going to adjust max distance, 0 elevation. This is all about getting to green safely. We want to catch the slope, which is going to take the ball down onto the putting surface. 1 ball of curl to the right, just before circle drop as our overpower reference. Minor great right isn't going to trouble me here. It's fine. Perfect is also fine, as is great left. We've got enough speed to trickle down onto the green here. I'm just playing for the safe eagle here as a general method in all wind angles. And we get that one nicely on the green, leaving ourselves an eagle putt. In tailwind, of course, we can play with the rock without worrying about a club switch. But I'm adding top spin, second bounce on the fairway, third bounce there, you can see just before the end of the rough, and the ball guide is showing it is going to roll out onto the fairway. And in similar fashion to hole 4, that's what I want to do. I want to use the rough to control the rollout on the ball. Sure, you can send it here, but the fairway strips are narrow and you may well end up in the rough. So this is a consistent way to attack the pin, for the albatross, even in a good wind angle. Max plus 30 on this one, and that would be an adjustment I go with regardless of wind angle, because this one is massively downhill. And you can see there the rough is just dampening the progression of the ball, and we get a nice roll out here, 351 yards. Second shot in a nasty wind angle, you're just going to play safely to green with backspin and the Cataclysm bouncing on the fairway. But with a good wind angle, we want to go aggressive with the rough bump. But be warned, there's quite a lot of steps to do. Add spin first, little bit of top spin, little bit of side spin to the right. It will vary depending where you are on your drive. And we want to set up with the sniper for the ball guide, and also club accuracy, having the ball guide going here just to the right of pin. That's because the wind will push us slightly to the left according to the wind angle I've got here. Looking at the plus yardage, plus 4 is going to be 80% slider, 2.5% per yard away from max, and max is plus 12 with the sniper 10 and a power 3. So 80% slider, 10% elevation. Crucial step here though, allow yourself time. We have to pull back a couple of rings. That's because we are just up the hill, and that will gain distance on our aim point. If you do not pull back, you will miss the rough completely and it won't end well. So make sure you allow enough time. So the pull back there means we're just catching the rough in the right place, and we drop it for an albatross on hole number 9. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. Hole number 9 to finish then. We've got an interesting approach here, to be honest, playing aggressively on the second shot. Drive first, though, that we need to deal with, and we are bouncing over onto that circular area of fairway. So add your spins, get your second bounce just beyond the rough. So it's 4 bars top spin, I think, and then 2 bars side spin to the left. Adjustment max plus 15. Because I adjust downhill slightly, I do push up 2 yards just to compensate for the loss of distance on the aim point. Half a ball of curl to the left, obviously, because the wind is going to push us right. If we have wind the other way, you will need less curl. But we're just aiming to get towards the top area of this fairway, and that's absolutely fine. Could have pushed it a bit harder, but I'm still in range. And here with this wind angle, I decide, do I want to go for a rough bump or do I want to play a containing shot? Obviously, if you don't want to go for the rough bump, just get yourself safely to the green for an eagle. However, 9-hole cup coming up, I do think we need to be a little bit more aggressive. Just trying to find a good position here and mixing around with the spins to try and get a good line to the pin. Playing with a decent amount of backspin, as you can see here. I do decide 2 bars of right spin is the way to go. And look, we've got a nice little route there to the pin. We're not at max distance of club, but the time is ticking on this one. I decide to play it max plus 20. Max plus 20. I do think this is an interesting route if we do have a good wind angle to attempt. First time I've ever played this shot, to be honest. I do hit perfect, and I'm quite pleased with the result. We hit the rough exactly where we want to, but just going to miss to the right edge, but still very good for a first look. Max plus 20. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.